Val Kilmer begged to be in Top Gun sequel and other revelations from his new memoir. So there's a picture of Val Kilmer there. Says it's no surprise that Val Kilmer has some stories to tell. The actor has played such figures as Jim Morrison, Doc Holliday, and Batman. He rocketed to stardom in a fighter jet in Top Gun, part of the Red Sea as Moses in The Prince of Egypt, and acted opposite his icon, Marlon Brando, in The Island of Dr. Moreau. Says, but those stories aren't even the most interesting parts of Val Kilmer's new memoir. It's called I'm Your Huckleberry. So basically, Val Kilmer is coming out with a new memoir, which I think is really interesting because this is a man that's had such an incredible career. And one of the stories that I guess he has in this, if I can get it to pop up correctly, he has some stories about some of his romances, like his romance with Daryl Hannah. He has a story in here, I guess, about his romance with Cher. So there is a little bit of a kiss and tell in this memoir. But one of the most interesting things in it was that he talks about apparently that he wasn't interested in doing Top Gun at first. He actually thought Top Gun was really like cheesy when he read the script, and he had no interest in doing it. And then at the last minute, he decided to go ahead and do it. And now, with the sequel coming out, he really wanted to be in it. And for a lot of people that don't know, Val Kilmer had throat cancer, and his voice is very changed now. He doesn't sound like Val anymore because of his throat cancer. And it was kind of touch and go about whether he would be in Top Gun Maverick, in the new Top Gun film. But the memoir confirms he's in it. So he is going to be in it. He decided to do it, which of course, again, it was ironic because he never wanted to be in the original, but then he was begging to be in the new one. And him and Tom Cruise came up with something, and he said it was great. It was magic. It was they were all back again. So for anybody wondering about that, yeah, Val Kilmer is going to appear in the next Top Gun film, and he has a memoir out. I'm actually interested in seeing his memoir. I used to follow Val Kilmer quite a bit on Facebook because he was very active on Facebook, especially with his voice being the way that it was, and it was very difficult for him to speak or really do anything else. So he was very active on Facebook. And I actually was able to interact with him a couple of times back and forth on things. I know his mother actually lives in Arizona, and he has connections to the state also in that because of Tombstone. He did a personal appearance in Tombstone, Arizona for one of the anniversaries of the gunfight at the OK Corral. So I just thought this was kind of fun and interesting story that Val Kilmer has a memoir out and that he is going to be appearing in the latest Top Gun sequel.
Well, very cool. I'd definitely be interested in checking that out. I'm a Val Kilmer fan. I've talked about my excitement for the new Top Gun film, as well as my love of the original. And I've also talked to Wax Poetic quite a bit about how much I enjoy Batman Forever. I know some people don't like it, but Batman Forever is one of my personal favorite Batman movies. I have a connection to that film, which I've spoken on the show previously, but I just felt like that he was trying to bring something interesting to his portrayal of Batman, and I quite like Batman Forever. But there's been quite a few films he's been in that I really enjoyed. You know, whether you want to talk about, obviously, Tombstone. I love Tombstone. That's one of my favorite Westerns. I thought he was good in The Saint. And then also, was it The Ghost in the Darkness, the one about the big game hunter in Africa he was in with Kurt Russell? That was an interesting film as well. And then also, I think he was in Red Planet. Wasn't Red Planet the one that he was in where the robot goes rogue? And they're on.
I'm not sure if I've seen that one. I do remember The Saint. I remember The Saint being a real big deal, and I really liked that movie. But he's been in so many movies. Obviously, he titled the memoir "I'm Your Huckleberry," so everybody remembers Tombstone, right, where he played Doc Holliday. I think that's just iconic. Absolutely iconic. So he's done so many things. Obviously, he was Batman. You know what I mean? So
right.
He's done so many cool things. It's just amazing.
Well, it's interesting too because they've actually made Funko Pops actually out of Doc Holliday and the Earps, actually from Tombstone, the Kurt Russell film that Val Kilmer was in. So,
Wow, that's cool.